Hi, good morning all. So yesterday we are discussing about this SQL operators. So in that already we have completed some of them. So today we are going with this is null. And is not null. Okay, it is easy to compare null values. Okay, why we use this is null? Whether column is having the null values or not. So we'll compare using this is null or is not null. So it is used to search for the null values in the given input. Support with all type of data. Okay. Syntax is select star from table name where column name is equals to column name is null. So if you mention like this, what will happen? It will verify that table is having the that column null values or not. Okay. So I want to list employees who are not having the commission. Okay. So then how can you say that? Select a star from EMP where commission column is null. So what it will do? So it will fetch the values which are commission column is having the null values. So actually we are having the 14 records in this table. So out of this 14, so 4 records having the values for the commission. So remaining 10 records, it will fetch here now. Okay. So see this, out of 14, all the 10 records it is fetched where commission column is null. Okay. So same way, we want to is not null. Suppose I want only the columns which are having the values. So I don't want to display the, or I don't want to fetch the null values so that I will use the not null. So select star from EMP where commission is not null, then it will fetch only that which are having the values in this commission column. Okay. So here simple, if you want the column to be fetch only null values columns, then you have to use the is null. So if you don't want to null columns, then you have to use the is not null. Okay. Suppose here I want to check that manager column is there. So in the manager column, so we have the only one record it is having the null value. So select star from EMP where manager is not null.
Recording in progress.
Okay. So select star from EMP where manager is null. So then only one record it is getting. Okay. Manager is not null means all the 13 records it will fetch. Okay. Opposite only. Same way if you say salary is null, salary is not null or salary is null, what will happen? So all the employees having the salary. So salary is null means there is no records found here. Not null means all the 14 records it will display here. Okay. So whether you want to check with the values whether it is existing or not there. So simply you can use the is null or is not null. Suppose if you check some other tables like select revised date from PO headers all where revised date is null. So it is fetching only null value records here. So here I am taking only one column so that it is fetching only one column output here. Suppose if I want to take star here, select star from pivot address all where revised date is null, then this is the information like this it will display. Okay. So here is the rate type, currency, lot of information available in these tables. But I want to check only one column, then I can mention that column name only in the select class. What are the columns are required? So that columns only I can fetch when you use the, instead of this star, only if you mention the column names, that are column names only, it will display in the output. Suppose I want only pivot header ID only. Pivot header ID, comma, and the type lookup code. Segment 1. These columns only if I required, then I can fetch only these many columns only. Same way, not null. These are the values here. So how many are there means count, we have to take the count rows. Right click on that and count rows here. So at a time it will fetch, SQL developer or told it will fetch some of the records only. At a time at least some 50 or 100 records only it is going to fetch it based on the query. So if the more it is there, records are more, than if you scroll down automatically, it is going to fetch remaining records here. If you see here, fetch 150 records in 150 rows in 0.038 seconds. When I scroll down like this, it is automatically fetching the remaining records here. Okay. See this here, it is fetched 400 records, 450, 500, like this. Okay. So, but when you execute it, initially it will fetch only 50 or 100 records only. When I execute the any query, so in the script output window, first it will fetch for 50 records only here. If you see here, fetched 50 rows in 0.007 seconds. When you scroll down, automatically it is fetching the remaining records also here. Sorry. Okay. So that you have to understand how it is going to work. Application, how it is working, that we have to understand. Okay. So sometimes it will hangs because it is going to read from the back end. That time you have to wait for few seconds. When it is reached, it will say that all the records are fetched like. All those fetched. So all those fetched means these many records exist in this query output. 1035 here. Same you can get using this count rows. Okay. This is about the operators. So any doubts in these operators? So with this topic is completed. So we'll move on to next topic, that is set operators. So what are the operators exist? Like, not like, between. Tell me. Not between, null,
Null
not null.
is not
Okay. So this and in operator.
in.
In, not in. Okay. This you have to remember, and where to use that you have to choose them. So in means it will contain the list only. Okay. So unlike means So that is the same starting with some character or ending with some character or in between some characters which are having. To verify that, we'll use the like operator. Okay. And between means between within the range.
Between
So
those.
between the range, sum of the range you will give. Within that range, whether the records are exist or not, we'll verify. And is null. Is null means we are comparing that column whether it is having the null values or not. So if the null values is there, you want to pick the one null value records, then you will use the is null. So if you don't want null values, then you will use is not null. Okay. So we'll move on to next topic, that is set operators. So it is used to join the outputs of select statements. Set operators, what it will do? It is used to join the output of the select statements based on the operator specified. By using set operators, we join more than one query, such queries are called as compound queries. Set operators are used to combine the result of two or more queries into single result. Okay. Select statement must have the equal number of columns and similar data type columns, but must not be the same size. Maximum 32 queries can be joined with a set operators. So rules for the set operators is number one, that is columns should be same within the both the select statements, and data type of the columns must be match, but size is not mandatory. So but same number of columns we have to consider and same data type we have to consider while using this set operators. So set operators, we have the four types are there. One is union all, second is union, third is intersect, fourth is minus. Okay. So how it will work? Suppose we have the some select statement, two select statements are there. Okay. You can say suppose S1, S2 are there. So this is one select statement and this is another select statement. So for this select statement, we are going to have some values like this: A comma B comma C comma D. Okay. Some columns are some values, you can say output of this select statement. And here X, Y, Z and BC. Okay. So like this, some of the select statement output comes. Then what will happen based on this operators which we are using? Okay. So this, suppose this is one select statement output and this is another select statement output. When you use the union all operator, what you will get? So both the, for the union operator, union all, so you will get all the A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z, B, C. So all the values you will get when you use the union all. In the output of this, when you use the select operator, sorry, set operators, union all. So you will get when you use the select statement is this many output values, and S1 is having this much, S2 is having this much. When you use the union all, what it will do? It will combine all the values and it will display like this. Okay. Suppose for the same, to use the union, what will happen? Union means it will contains only values, it will omit the duplicate values. Okay. So when you use the union all the values from this, both the select statement it will display, even though if it is having the duplicates. But when you use the union operator, so what it will do? It will
Delete BC.
accept the duplicates. Okay. So it will consider only individual values. Okay, so now it will consider A, B, C, D, and in this below second query X, Y, Z. BC already it is came, so that it won't consider second term in the union operator. Same way in the third operator, that is intersect. So intersect means that is the common between the two select statements. So which are common here? Only B, C. These are only the common here. Okay. So same way here for the minus. Minus means, so from the S1 it should be there S1 minus S2. Like this you have to mention. That means what it will do, minus means, so what are the distinct in the distinct values from the first query, and it should not exist in the second select statement. That is, suppose in this S1 ABCD is there, S2 XYZ BC is there. Okay. So BC it is already there, and what is not there in this? A and D it is not there. Okay. So in the minus you will get only A and D. So union all means, so including the duplicate values. Union means it will omit the duplicate values. Intersect means common values between the these two select statement, and minus means whatever the values exist in the S1 and it should not exist in the S2, that values only it will consider. Okay. S1 minus S2. Suppose if you consider in the minus S2 minus S1, select statement 2 minus select statement 1, then the output will be
YZ.
X, Y, Z it will display. Okay. In the reverse. So it should have the values from this select statement and which are not in this S1. These only it will consider. Okay. So this is the basic example for this set operators. So we'll see some of the examples by creating some of the tables here. Okay. Suppose I am going to create one table. Create table XXCMP set up here underscore today's data I will give. Okay. So in this we have taking the three columns: employee number, employee name, salary. So now I am going to insert the values into this table. So I will insert using the insert statement. Okay. So I'm using this insert statement here. I'm changing my table name here. Okay. Now I'm inserting these records into table. Insert into XXCMP set up here 27 values, 100A, 1000, 101B, 2000, 102C, 3000, 103D, 4000, 109Z, 8000. So I'm executing one by one query here. Okay. Commit. So we have the 5 records in this table. Okay. So we'll create one more table to compare. We need the two selection, at least minimum two select statement to use this set operators. So let's create another table using this. Create table XXCMP set OPR1 underscore 27. And with the same columns I am taking here: employee number, employee name, salary. So table is created. So again I will insert the some of the values into this table. So we need to change our table here. This is the so now I'm going to insert into second table. So these are the values. Okay. So 7 records, it got inserted into this table. So now suppose if I query the, so we'll have one more table also. I'll create underscore 27. And this also I'm going to insert some few records. Yeah. So if it is a SQL, what we'll do is, so it is one by one we have to execute. SQL will execute at a time one single query. So instead of executing, I want to execute all the things at a time. Then simply I can put it in the block type in this begin and end. Okay. What it will do? It will execute all the commands at a time. Okay. Within this block. Okay, I'm using the instead of executing one by one statement here. Simply I put it in the block type and this comes under the PLSQL. Okay. So but now, so I'm just simply adding the begin and end. I'm executing. Okay. So now all the insert statements are executed. So, see, is the table name. So all the this is inserted 4 records. So fifth record it is not got inserted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 only. So why it is not inserted? Insert into table name values 110. It is not got inserted. Then this record is not inserted. Okay, I'll insert manually here. This is number market 420. Why it is getting error? So now all the records are inserted now. So now I am having the 3 tables with the same columns and same data type here. See, employee number, employee name, salary. So here also employee number, employee name, salary. So same data type and same columns I am having. So how can we use this union operator on these tables? So first we'll use the union all. So union all means it displays all the values along with the duplicate values also. 2 queries must have the equal number of columns. Okay. So I'll use select. First I will use select star from table name. So first table name, what is that? First table name. Okay. Select star from XXEMP set operator 27. So I'll use the union all operator. So union all. Again select star from the second table I'm using. Okay. So here I'm using the union all operator. Select star from XXEMP set operator 27. So when I execute this, automatically all the values from them, both the tables, it is both the select statements, not the tables, select statement output here. This is if we execute individually, what it will do. So it is giving the 5 records, and for this 7 records. When you use the union all operator, so how many? It is giving the all the total 12 records from the select statement of this. And suppose if you use the union operator, what it will do? It will fetch only the records which are not having the duplicate. It will omit the duplicate records. So here now I got only 8 records. Okay, see the difference when you use the union all operator. So what is it is giving all the values, that is 100 A, 1000, and 101 B, 2000, 102, 103, and here 109. Again here 100 A, 1000, 101 B, 2000, 102 C, 3000. Same values it is displaying. That means including the duplicate values it is displaying when you use the union operator. So when you use the only union operator, what it will do? It will omit the duplicate values. It will consider only individual values from the both the select statement. Okay. Same way if you use the we have another operator, that is intersect. So what it will do? Intersect means common values. So which are common from the both the tables for both the select statements. That is having the 100 A, 1000, 101 B, 2000, 102 C, 3000, 103 D, 4000. These are the common from this both the select statements. Suppose minus if I use, so minus means it should contain in the this select statement and it should not contain in this second select statement. So if I execute individually, what it is giving? 5 records it is giving. Out of these 5 records, so which are not available in the second statement, in this statement which are not there, so that only it will consider. So ABCD already it is there. Okay, in this EFG it is extra, it is there, whereas in the first statement we have the only ABCD and Z it is there. So this Z should come when you execute the minus operator. So that is query which is output which is exist in this first query and it should not exist in the select query. Suppose if I make it as the reverse. Okay, so suppose if I execute in the reverse order, what will happen? So I'll use this table here. Okay, so I made the select star from this table first and minus select star from. So now see the difference. So when I execute this query, it is getting only Z value 109, Z 8000. But when I reverse the statement here, so what is I am getting? 104, 105, 106. That means these exist in this first statement and not exist in the select statement. When you use the minus, what it will happen? It should value should be exist in the first statement and it should not exist in the select second statement. that values only it will going to display. But when you use the union all operator, all the values it will fetch. And when you use the intersect, only common values. Okay. We'll take some other example of the tables. Employee table we are having the. Suppose select a job from EMP where department number is equals to 10. Union, select job from EMP where department number is equals to 20. So what will happen? So if you execute this statement, how many are coming? President, manager, clerk, it is coming. So same way if you execute this one, manager, analyst, clerk, these are the values I am coming. So when you
పని చూడండి రామకృష్ణ సార్ ఫోన్ చేసినాడు ఆయన నంబర్ ఉందా ఒకసారి ఫోన్ చేసి మాట్లాడు నువ్వు లేబర్ చేస్తాను చెప్పావా నువ్వు లేబర్ చేస్తాను
హలో
మరి ఆయన
మనోహర్ మ్యూట్ చేసుకొని మాట్లాడండి.
సారీ సార్
మిగతా వాళ్ళకి ఇబ్బంది కలిగించొద్దు. ఓకే, ఓకే. సెలెక్ట్ జాబ్ ఫ్రమ్ ఈఎంపీ అంటే మనకి ఎన్ని వస్తున్నాయి రికార్డ్స్? ఇక్కడ 3 రికార్డ్స్ వస్తున్నాయి. అదే సెకండ్ స్టేట్మెంట్లో ఎన్ని వస్తున్నాయి? మనకి 5 వస్తున్నాయి. సో వెన్ యూజ్ ద యూనియన్ ఆపరేటర్ ఏం చేస్తుంది? ఇది కామన్గా మీన్స్ డూప్లికేట్ లేని వాల్యూస్ అన్ని అవి ఒకటే చూపిస్తుంది. సో యూనియన్ ఆల్ తీసుకుంటే ఏమవుతుంది? వెన్ యూజ్ ద యూనియన్ ఆల్ including the duplicate, it is giving the values here. See this clerk, analyst, manager. Okay, when you use the union operator, what it is doing? It is omitting the duplicate values, only individual values it is displaying here. Same way, suppose if you use the intersect. So intersect means common between these two. Okay, so common means it should come in the clerk and manager. Okay, and same way minus means it should exist in this first query and it should not exist in the second query. That is president. Okay, same way you can use these operators on the here. If you observe the above examples I am taking here, select star from, so both the select star from this table minus or union all or union operator select from star from this table. So here that means both the tables should have the same number of columns and same data type, then only it will comes and it will work. But coming to here, in the another example here, I am taking the columns, individual column I have taken. Select job from EMP where department number is equals to 10 minus select job from EMP where department number is equal to 20. So that means whenever in the select statement, that should be same number of columns. So when you use the select star from, then table should contain the same number of columns and same data type. But when you use the columns only, then it should be on the same order. Okay, job and here if you see this only job column I am taking here. So I will have some more examples here. So for that I will create some of the extra tables. Okay, to understand better. Okay, I am going to create some other tables also. Here I am using the serial number and name only, two only I am using here.